And you are welcome. It's What's Up and About, apart from Mike's blue suit this morning. The other things to talk about.
Yeah.
So someday, just very short, someday you guys will have to go and research and do very good research on sports apart from me, and that'll be the topic. But hey, like, moving on.
I know you really want to talk about this.
No. We're done with that.
We've got something very interesting to talk about. This morning, as I was coming to work, I actually was privy. I don't know if privy is a word. Well, I saw a band of Okada riders very early at about 4 a.m. in the morning, and they had like luggage on their backs, and they were heading out of Lagos, you know, towards Berga and everything. It got me thinking, are these guys trying to escape what is the potential ban on Okadas, which we've been hearing since over the weekend?
Or maybe they are just going home from Salah.
But there was about, it could be there was about 10 people
just one
riding.
before Mazino goes on. It's not these guys, it's Keith and Keen from Mazino. Go ahead.
Wow. I get what you're saying.
Go ahead.
But in any case, so there was to talk about the Okada ban in Lagos. Once again, it should be about the 18th time, maybe a millionth time that we've had this conversation about Lagos banning Okadas. The last one was in 2020, I think January, where they were banned from specific routes in Lagos. Now it's come about again. Only this time it's coming with the information that there's going to be the release of the first last bus scheme, which is supposed to help alleviate the suffering of people when it comes to transportation in Lagos. You've seen the buses.
So I saw this, I don't want to say huge, but large white buses. They are like the BRT. You know, the blue BRT, there are actually two types. The not so large and then the large ones. So they were like the large ones. And they were white. So,
they have a TV inside.
When you enter, you find
they're actually pushing the fact that they're going to be very, very comfortable. But the one thing that I'm wondering is, first of all, we have two messages being pushed here. The ban on Okadas, I don't know how stringent this is going to be this time or whether it's really a thing. And then the first last bus scheme, which they say is in collaboration with the private sector and all of that. So it actually, people have a stake in it.
Like,
however,
if we had to count, how many Okada bans have we had?
About 6 or so in recent years. Where I'm going is this here, with the Okada ban and then the introduction of these buses, is it going to actually help with the inner routes of Lagos as we know Lagos to be, where an Okada can get you, these buses can't get you? Is that going to be a solution? We're talking about pregnant women on Okadas just this morning, weren't we, Mike?
So, I saw, I think recently saw on my route, and that's why I would say for the one, on my route where there are options, I see where I see a pregnant woman or a nursing mother with her kid on the bike, and I see, it's keke, I'm talking about the route 2, and I'm like, look, I always start feeling there's this anxiety that comes up, there's this, I start feeling somehow like, look, what if anything happens? I've been on, a friend just 2 days ago, she was on a bike accident where she was on hold up and she was trying to get somewhere else, and boom, pothole, that bike was trying to race with another bike, and she was on the ground. You know, what if she was carrying a kid and all of that? You know? But then, you see, like you said, the message looks, you know, like the buses are not an alternative. Maybe it's a different scheme and it should not be mentioned in the same breath.
Same breath, yeah.
You know, it's a difference.
It does feel a little, in a sense, kind of insensitive for many people, especially the lower percentile. When it comes to those areas where the bus stops are really far, especially those places where there are no tarred roads. And there are a lot more of those places than you can ever imagine. So obviously these new buses won't be able to ply those routes. So what are the solutions?
These new buses, are they going to take out the yellow buses? I know that in due time, it will.
At some point, the yellow buses will go out. But
definitely. But
the issue here is this. As much as it is extremely expedient to take out the bikes, because they do more damage than good, realistically. The fact remains that they are also lifesavers for many people. So you stop at a bus stop, even if we want to mention the UK, the closest to you, where you have to walk, it doesn't have to be a long walk from the bus stop to your house, because the planning is done right. So there are routes that the buses will take that if you even had to walk, it'd probably be like from down this road to this place. So it's not so bad.
So wait,
but when you are now living in an area where you need to walk inside, there's no option of
how does it work in other countries? Do they have Okadas in other countries?
That's what I'm saying. Proper planning.
Have you lived in Abuja before?
Proper planning. That's did you hear what I said just now?
The Abuja instance here.
Planning.
The Abuja instance, this must be a decade now that Okadas were banned in Abuja. And they have figured out a way to actually live around it. I was in Abuja 3 weeks ago, and it's very interesting to note that transport in Abuja is actually rather cheap compared
very
to
cheap.
Very, very cheap.
When you say you're
Like,
paying 200,
yeah, I'm like,
that
I was
journey
shocked. I'm like,
in
wow,
a
I'm
car.
not one
But
in the
then
car.
again, there's less traffic there.
There is less traffic.
There's a lot more fuel
proper
burnt
roads,
here. Yeah,
all of that.
there's a lot more fuel burnt here.
So
and
this is
even where
something
there's no fuel,
this is something that
being burned in
let's be
Lagos.
truthful, this is something that I feel like at this point, with all due respect to them, they are not yet very sure of how to exactly solve the transportation issue in Lagos.
I think that translates in their communication, the way they say it's going to be a gradual phasing off, or rather a gradual introduction of these buses, because they're only releasing 500 as yet. And then there's 1,500 to come. But would those 2,000 even still be enough?
Enough. See, as every city is unique in its own way. If we've planned and learned to use the waterways very well, from the mainland to the island, do you know how much you could cut out traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge if people trust the waterways?
That's what I was going to say, that the waterways exist. It's not that people don't
trust
Have
them.
you ever been on the waterways?
Yeah, in my dreams.
So I've had this,
And in pictures and videos.
I've had this movement. I've gone to Takwa Bay once or twice where you had to go via the boat, but people don't trust them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but if we can make that segment viable, and of course, it's going to show up a lot.
The Lagos State government has also tried in that endeavor.
They have.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
the
have.
Super Eagles of Nigeria, when they went for their match, it was a PR thing. They went through the waters, even though it was not well
They've got something
planned.
going in the UK government too, as well, to help alleviate this transportation
I guess
issue.
we want to see more
So a lot
of these
is going
alternatives
on.
being
Yeah.
encouraged.
Exactly.
You know, I
The
guess that's going to
trains,
actually
the
vehicles
help.
to go
monorail
into
that's
the
been
hinterland.
there for so long. Oh my gosh.
So, hey, tell us what you think. You might want to send us a message. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC regarding this. We'd love to respond to that. We'll be back. Let's take a break. Was that short enough?
No.